Ayy, look, yeah, ayy. I'm in the lab like Dexter, brand new batch he tested. I'm with all the extras, don't try and bitch, I'm pressure. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers.
Let's go ahead and jump right into the conference finals preview. Let's go ahead and start off with the Western Conference Finals. You know, we're already on the topic of the Denver Nuggets, so we might as well stay there. The Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. Who do you guys got and why?
I'm gonna let Mini Me start. Since we're talking about his team, and I'm gonna let Big Ish go after that because these are the two guys right here. Those are both their
My
teams.
good old friend, man.
Yeah,
It's
my
been
guy,
a while
man.
since we've seen each other in the playoffs, you know.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
This guy's been bullying me since I was 6 years old, man. During Sunday school, you know.
It's been great. It's been
He's a
great.
Lakers fan. I was a Nuggets fan, but you know I'm not gonna lie. Every single time we played in the postseason, they've beaten us. But in 2020, the difference was Jokic wasn't first of all, Jokic wasn't the player he is now in 2020. Also, let's be serious. LeBron called Adam Silver for foul calls, right? Like I think that's everyone knows that. That's not like some sort of like this is a fact I'm talking about. He called Adam Silver and said, "Where's my foul calls?" They asked Mike Malone that in the press conference, and Mike Malone said, "I gotta do the same thing, I guess." But you know, it wasn't given to him. So this series, I expect Jamal Murray to have a big series. I expect Jokic to I'm not gonna lie, I expect Jokic to absolutely kill AD. Because the difference between this team and the Lakers team and right now in the bubble, they had so many centers on rotation, just throwing bodies at Jokic. Dwight Howard, probably one of the strongest players in the league at the time. He's still even at that age, so he was just physically make sure he's on Jokic, like just pushing him, shoving him, all that stuff. Because they had JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and Anthony Davis. So they have 18 fouls to give just on him. So they're pushing him around, all that stuff, try to get him tired. And they don't have that now. I mean, who's their backup center? Tristan Thompson? If I dare that guy to play a single second in this series. I dare that guy. Jokic is going to absolutely abuse him, like worse he did in Bismack Biyombo. So I expect Michael Porter Jr. to have a good series as well. I mean, who's going to be guarding him? Austin Reeves or something like that? Let's be serious, right? So I'm not going to give a prediction because I don't want to jinx my team, but I expect us to win this series. I expect it to go either 6 or 7, but I'm not going to give a prediction on this series, but I don't think Anthony Davis is
You
gonna
sound a
have
little
good
scared
series.
though. You
No,
can't get a prediction.
I'm not scared. I just don't want to jinx my team. You know, this is I've been waiting a long time for this moment. So
Fair enough.
You know me. Lakers in 6, baby. They've been the magic number all playoffs. Round 1, 6. Round 2, 6. Ain't no difference with the Nuggets. We winning in 6, you know. I feel like, you know, LeBron's been taking a little backseat lately. You know, he finally showed himself game 6 against the Warriors and started attacking the basket more, started playing in the paint more, and he's just been more physical that game. I feel like, you know, he's been settling for threes, and I feel like this is the series that he's going to start attacking the basket. He's going to start, you know, playing more point guard, not off-ball duties like he's been doing the first 2 rounds. And AD against Jokic, you know, two of the best bigs in the league, probably top 3 bigs in the league. 1 and 2 right there for sure. You know, Jokic, and you know, 2-time MVP, man. He's a bowling ball. And like you said, we ain't got Dwight. You know, we ain't got JaVale McGee to come in and sub in. You know, it's gonna be a different type of series defensively for us. I feel like it's gonna be a lot more help ball and hope guys like MPJ and KCP not hit their shots. And just rotation. I feel like Ham's he's gonna come with a game plan for these guys and. It's gonna be tough, Jamal Murray against Schroeder and D'Lo, not 2 fantastic guards.
I don't know who's guarding that, man.
I feel like we could put Vando on Jamal Murray, but at the same time, it's like we have Vando for Ja for a certain reason. Ja can't shoot, and he can watch Ja and physically get him in the paint. And Steph Curry, Vando electric. He can run, chase him around. And everything.
Vando got benched last series though.
He got benched last series towards the end because they came with a different game plan. Can't shoot offensively.
We're gonna let him shoot all day if he plays. I promise.
And I feel like defensively, MPJ's not MPJ, but Jamal Murray's he's a little different, more pick and roll type. It's a lot in the pick and roll, a lot of coming off of screens and shooting.
Lakers play a lot of drop coverage as well.
Yeah, so we play a lot of drop coverage. So I feel like Vandal's not gonna start. We're gonna have Schroeder starting. Schroeder's gonna be he's gonna give us some buckets, and I feel like Lonnie Walker's gonna step up as well. He played a lot of minutes the last couple games, and I've been saying Lonnie Walker over Troy Brown and Malik Beasley, man. Offensively and defensively, I feel like this guy's been much better than those two. He can hit a shot, he can create his own shot, he's athletic, he can chase guys off the screen, off the ball, and everything defensively. And it helped us against the Warriors. So, for us, the rotation guys got to step up. Reeves, D'Lo, Rui, Schroeder, guys like that. And I feel like AD and LeBron, man, I feel like they're gonna get theirs. A guy that's from San Jose, grew up, 15 minutes from us. Aaron Gordon. I can't wait for LeBron to eat him alive. I feel like LeBron's gonna abuse him. He's gonna, sun him. It's gonna be different than KD. KD was, looking for tough twos and stuff. LeBron's gonna take him straight to the basket. It's gonna be, a little ball. So
with what burst does that guy have left?
Yeah, we know what burst we.
It sounds like you're banking
against
on
the Warriors and you dropped 39-9 in that elimination game. Send them boys home, man. Come on.
It sounds like you're banking on a lot of role players this series, so I don't know how it's gonna work out for you. But
players just gonna show up like they've been showing up.
I just want to see. I just want to see how AD, because this is the first series he's actually get tested right with his matchup. I just want to, because the differences between now and the bubble is during the bubble he didn't really have to guard Jokic until like the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, or like the entire fourth quarter, because he had Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. This series he's got to be the primary defender on Jokic, and Jokic is gonna bully him. I want to know how much of the bullying he could take, because Jokic is gonna pound his chest in every single play. I promise you, he's gonna pound his chest in, and I don't know how much of that he's gonna take. So we're gonna see if he breaks.
We ain't worried. Defensively, we're gonna put Jokic in pick and roll every single possession.
The Phoenix Suns tried that with the two best scorers in the league. Right?
Man, we got LeBron to do that. Different story. Yeah. You can mention Book, you can mention KD, guys like that, but we got the GOAT. It's a whole different story. So we'll see what happens, but I got my prediction, man. Lakers.
When Austin Reeves is your best shooter, I'll live with that. So
keep on hating on Reeves.
I'm not hating on him. He's your best shooter. I'll live with that.
Yeah, he can be our best shooter. But last two series, that's what they said. They can live with it or not. But
who'd you play last two series though? Like, let's be real.
In 6. Don't hate on the past champs. Don't hate on the Warriors.
Yeah, I had a lot of respect for the Warriors, but they're not the same team they were last year. So
that's right. That's what a lot of people were saying. But yeah, Otto Porter Jr. That's about it. That's all they're missing.
So Lakers in 6, right? I'll hold you to that.
Lakers in 6.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I got Nuggets in 6 in this series. I think, there's no evidence of anything being similar to the bubble at all. In fact, I think the situation has gotten worse for the Lakers. You look at it. This version of LeBron James is not a top 5 player on the planet. Let's keep it 100. This version of LeBron James is not a top 5 player on the planet. Anthony Davis, even his scoring ability has taken a dip. Defensively, he's always going to be an all-timer, no question about that. But offensively, the two stars for the Lakers, they've taken a step back, and they've been reliant on contributions from their role players. And I think the difference in this type of series is you have to guard all 5 Nuggets players when you're guarding them. You have to guard all 5. It's not like the Warriors where you had Gary Payton there, and you had Draymond Green there, and you had Kevon Looney. They have a bunch of guys even Andrew Wiggins at times. There's a bunch of guys for the Nuggets that you literally have to guard. And Jared Vanderbilt, the biggest issue with him is that in one-on-one coverage, he's good. He's a good defender. Don't get me wrong. Very good defender. The reason why he got benched against the Warriors is because he cannot get around screens. Getting around screens was his biggest issue. That's why they could not have him guard Steph Curry, because when Steph Curry is running around screens, Vanderbilt has that problem where he cannot get around them. His screen navigation is terrible. So they had to switch the matchup on that. And if Vanderbilt starts, I think this is a series where Rui has to start for the Lakers. That's going to be the difference maker. I think if Rui starts, that's a big difference. But again, I think the Lakers are banking too much on role players to contribute in this type of series. I think the Nuggets have way better role players, in my opinion. Guys that are going to step up. You have MPJ as your third option. You have Christian Brown. You have Bruce Brown. You have a bunch of guys, Aaron Gordon. And LeBron, I get it. I think he has more dimensions to his offense than KD because he's a playmaker. He's going to post up. But Aaron Gordon, he's the one guy left in the playoffs I can put my hands up in and I say I think he can match LeBron in terms of physicality and his overall size. This version of LeBron James, I don't see that same burst from him. I don't see that same athleticism. I think he's been elite defensively, but offensively, he's taken like a nosedive offensively, especially his outside shooting. So I think the Lakers are banking too much on their role players stepping up, and I think in this type of series, AD's gonna have a problem guarding Jokic. He's gonna have a really big problem because when you have those three bodies that you can throw at him with AD and JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, that's different than just having to guard Jokic straight up a one-on-one for an entire series. That's a huge,
Can't hide
huge
no more.
difference. And what are they? And my question for the Lakers is, what are they gonna do in the non-AD minutes? That's like been a problem every single time. Like every single game in this so far in the Lakers playoffs, it's been a problem in non-AD minutes. What are you gonna put Wendy and Gabriel there? Are you gonna put Mo Bamba, who's barely hasn't even touched the floor yet? Like, what are they gonna do? And then are you gonna put LeBron at the 5? They're gonna get killed.
Tristan Thompson.
Exactly. So I think the non-AD minutes are going to hurt the Lakers. I think the role players for the Nuggets are a little bit better, in my opinion. And I think overall, the star matchup between Jokic and AD, it's going to be a Jokic sided affair. So I got the Nuggets in 6.
Big H, you said earlier, 6 is the magic number, and I agree with you. But in this situation, it just won't be in your favor, sir. I have the Nuggets winning in 6. For all the reasons you guys have mentioned. But the one thing I do want to talk about that I think will separate the Nuggets from the Los Angeles Lakers in this specific series will be Jamal Murray. We know the matchup between Nikola Jokic and AD. Those guys are going to battle it out. AD's been the best defensive player in this postseason. Jokic has been the most dominant. So we're going to see those two guys battle it out. But Jamal Murray has to take his matchups personally. He's going up against guys like D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves. He has to consistently attack these guys each and every play, in each and every game. Whether it's high pick and roll, whether it's just one-on-one action. Jamal Murray, it doesn't matter who is on him necessarily come postseason time, because he's seen all the matchups so far in his career. He's seen all the best perimeter defenders. He's seen all these guys go at him. He's still able to produce. So now you come across this Lakers basketball team where D'Angelo Russell is going to be their point guard and Dennis Schroeder is going to come off their bench, or whether he's in the starting lineup. Austin Reeves, those are guys that he can attack and he can take advantage of. He can go ahead and get buckets pretty much freely if the officials decide to let these guys kind of play it out. Hopefully that's whatever happened in the bubble, it's in the past. The officials don't necessarily get involved in this series, but the Nuggets are going to win in 6, and I think it's going to come down to who's going to be able to steal a road game and stuff like that. I think the Nuggets are the more capable team of doing so, and so it's going to be interesting to see how Jokic and AD battle it out, because I feel like in order for the Lakers to win, they're going to need a lot of LeBron. I'm going to use a word that Shannon Sharp uses a lot. It's a virtuoso performance. He's going to need a lot of those, where LeBron James is pretty much the most dominant player out there on the floor, and on the floor at the same time with AD and Jokic. And I feel like LeBron doesn't necessarily have that in the tank anymore. We've seen a little bit of it in that Memphis series where he kind of took over in some stretches of the game. We've seen it a little bit in this Golden State Warriors series where he kind of just dominated the game from time to time, but was really relying on his role players. But in order to get by this Denver Nuggets basketball team, this guy LeBron James has to pretty much be the best player out there on the floor, and I just don't think LeBron James kind of has it in him anymore. Whether he's dealing with that foot injury that's been bugging him for quite some time now, or father time is catching up to him, and so LeBron James really has to put his team on this back, because Anthony Davis, we know what he's going to bring defensively, but offensively, what is it going to look like from game to game? Are we going to get the Anthony Davis from these last couple of series where the even games he's going off, the odd games he's going out, he's going down, it's going to be interesting to see how consistent AD is in this series, because on a night where Jokic has it going, AD has to have it going. But if he doesn't have it going, where's the scoring going to come from? So I'm not going to trust guys like, Austin Reeves, D'Lo and Schroeder and Rui and Lonnie Walker and those guys to come alive like they did in that Golden State Warriors series. And with the opportunity that was given to them, I just don't think that's the case here. These guys, I feel like the Denver Nuggets, they're built for this championship run that they're on right now. Very well coached. And so it's going to be interesting to see what Darwin Ham does with the rotations. I think Abdi highlighted an amazing point. Those non-AD minutes, what is Darwin Ham going to do in those situations? Because Jokic may be out there on the floor and AD might not be out there on the floor. And you can't sit there and play 80, 40, 44 minutes a night, because I don't think his body's going to be able to take that and withstand all the force that he's getting on a consistent basis, play by play, Jokic attacking him, and really forcing AD to kind of, play defense and offense. I feel like he might just run out of gas, whatever's left in the tank right now. And so, it comes down to the GOAT, LeBron James, Big H, your guy, it all comes down to him. All the pressure in the world is on him to deliver, to get you guys back into the finals like you guys did in 2020. But unfortunately, I think, your season gets cut short here It'll be in
I don't
6
think people are
games.
even highlighting enough. Like Lakers offense isn't that good, by the way. Like I hope people are well aware of that. Like out of the remaining teams in the playoffs, they're the worst. They have the worst offensive rating out of the entire group. I give it to them. Their defense has been the best, but offensively, they've really like. I think they're like eighth in offensive rating. That's even behind some teams that got eliminated, like the Atlanta Hawks and a couple other teams. So, offensively, it's been reliant on contributions from LeBron James scoring here and there, and Anthony Davis, of course. But you're going up against the best offense in the playoffs and arguably the best offense in the entire NBA. So it's a whole different matchup. You're going up against that same type of maybe motion offense, but this time you're going up against a 2-time MVP and he's the center. So I think it's a
Yeah,
whole
Jamal
different
Murray.
type. Yeah, and Jamal Murray, of course. They make up that 2-man game, and you get contribution from Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. And like I don't think people understand. Everybody on that starting lineup can score the basketball. Like people need to understand that Aaron Gordon's like shooting 40% from the corner. Like he's not missing from that corner three, so you can't really help off of him. Jamal Murray, we know who he is. MPJ, he's never one to be afraid of a shot. There's no shot that he doesn't like. Every single guy on this court can KCP. All these guys to shoot the basketball, and then you got Christian Brown and Bruce Brown coming off the bench, terrorizing your guards. At the point of attack. What can you do? So, the Lakers defense, we're gonna really see how much it holds up, and really how much their offense can produce. Because if LeBron James isn't LeBron James, they're in trouble.
The thing is that kind of helps the Lakers, why they've been so successful so far up until this point. Obviously they're not a great 3-point shooting team. So in those games where they're winning, they're shooting pretty well from the 3-point line. And so I think teams are going to kind of live with that. The Memphis Grizzlies tried it. The Golden State Warriors tried it. And, those two teams failed at it. I think the Denver Nuggets have a good shot at kind of capitalizing on that, kind of living and dying by that Lakers 3-ball because they don't necessarily have a lot of great shooters, which pretty much will be the difference maker. But, a lot of the guys on the Denver Nuggets kind of have to assert themselves in this series. Guys like you mentioned, Aaron Gordon, KCP, and Michael Porter Jr., because those guys will be playing a lot of minutes in this series. And so, those guys got to stay locked in. Those guys got to hit their shots. But in this series, it's going to come down to who's got the two better stars. Is it Jamal Murray, Jokic, or is it going to be LeBron James and Anthony Davis? And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see for that one. But
one thing I want to highlight about what Yahya just said. I'm not gonna lie, the Nuggets, there's two things with our defense that's kind of shaky. We've never really been a good 3-point defending team in our transition defense. And I know Lakers are a really good transition offense team.
That's what the transition defense, I think that's going to be where the Lakers are looking to exploit. Not really maybe not as much as a 3-point shooting team because they're not like a volume 3-point shooting team and they don't shoot that great.
But it doesn't really matter. Like we're a terrible 3-point defending team. Yeah,
but the transition is where like the issue. But the good thing about the Nuggets so far from the playoffs is, a lot of people haven't really highlighted MPJ's improved defense. I think that's I think he was phenomenal in that Sun series with his rotations and in isolation. And one thing that people don't understand about defense is rebounding is a huge, huge part of defense. And like that ability to not give your opponent second chances. It's why Jokic is whenever sometimes you see his defensive rating and stuff like that, it's like strong and you're like, how does that make any sense? But that defensive rebounding they don't give you second chances. That's the thing about the Nuggets is Aaron Gordon's going to be on the glass, Michael Porter Jr. is going to be on the glass, and Jokic is going to be on the glass. So 3 of those guys are all 6'10", so minimum. So they're all going to hit the glass, and the Lakers, their best chance is they have to try to exploit the Nuggets in transition. That's the key difference for them. AD has to push the break. They have to get out quick. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
I like that. I like how you gave Michael Porter Jr. his flowers on his defense because that's something I've been telling Yahya all season. This guy, he's an improved defender. He's not the same defender he was a couple years ago where he was disengaged and all that stuff. Like the dude that he plays defense. So I like that shout out that you gave him.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now Lakes, now that's overkill.